Before I start this lesson, I'd like to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rukakwadash, the one to the apostles of the great millstone of rule and teacher. Shalom to 144,000 men that's push to get believe in this word in all true sincerity and sacrificing their lives and wills to do so. Shalom to the men, women, and children that's tuning in and listening. And shalom to the Israelite foreign scattered abroad on all four corners of the earth. The Heavenly Father name is Yahweh. His only begotten Son name is Yahweh Shai. And Lord willing, his videos edify and quick and straight to the point. This video will be entitled Prophets Speak Prophecy. And I titled this like this because you have a lot of false prophets in Israel right now. And not just right now, but all in together. There's a lot of false prophets out in the nation of Israel talking about, they worried about all the non-trivial matters. They're also saying the MLTB is an image of Caesar Borgia and all this shit, right? And white Jesus. And, you know, a lot of nations are saying, the MLTB ain't going to be established here. The MLTB is going to be established in America, nowhere else, and all this shit. Ultimately, false prophets will be known, and not just known, but they will be marked. And the true prophets, are going to be known too. Because when shit really hits the fan, when shit gets hard, these false prophets are going to They're going to ultimately be marked. And not just that, Nate got a lot of blood on his hands, man. He had individuals take that COVID juice or whatever, and 20 people died. But now he's saying he ain't tell nobody to take it. But you got video evidence, and it's crazy because an individual can say they ain't did something, and he's that type of individual to say he ain't did something, but there's video proof of him saying, I didn't say take that, and he said take it. Yeah, depending on your occupation, if you're in the military or whatnot, you have to take it. And back then in 2020, now I wasn't in the truth at this time, but you had a lot of people that had to take it. And then not just that, a lot of non-essential workers, essential workers had to take it, like nurses, individuals that had, let's say blue collar workers, doctors, nurses, surgeons, stuff like that. You had individuals that were essential to the economy that either A, had to take it, or B, they couldn't work. And that's what was going on. That was a test run. That was a trial run to see how you people acted. And and it's funny because guess what? In that same year, and not just that same year, in 2021, they had this. They did a study and saying a lot of Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are more susceptible to getting it. And you know what? Every time some like an outbreak happened, they always point out Jake. You're more likely to get it because of this, and there's a whole bunch of horse shit. But we know ultimately, we're not. They always try to put us under this microscope as if we're the ones who carry diseases, and are these individuals that ultimately don't care for us. Now, granted, a lot of Jake don't, but ultimately a lot of Jake don't be carrying diseases like that. Now they do. Don't get it twisted. They do. There's Jake out here that carry diseases, but Esau Edom be the main one experimenting up with these diseases, testing them out on animals himself and Jake. When the conquistadors came over here and the colonists came over here, they came over here with measles and smallpox. And I forgot the other one they had, but a lot of it wasn't just physical warfare. They had bio warfare too. You got to think a lot of those sicknesses that those heathens had, they brought it over, and Northern Kingdom got caught wind of it, and not wind. They got a whole. It's a lot of individuals that died because of those things, and those was from colonizers. So you Edomites that are so proud, we took over this land from savages, and they had to elevate them. No, motherfucker, y'all motherfuckers were the same individuals that brought diseases over here, killed people, slaughtered people. Shit, the land was better when y'all wasn't here than when y'all is here. So that should tell you something. But anyway, I'm just going to get these precepts. I don't want to start rambling. So this is Sirach, chapter 39. And ultimately, false prophets will be known by what they say, and if it lines up with what's actually going on in the world. You could tell a lot of prophets, a lot of the things that the true men of the Lord are speaking is actually happening right before your eyes. We was them so-called crazy individuals, beginning with our apostles and elders and on down to bishops. We was always labeled as, oh, that ain't gonna happen. We're crazy. We're terrorists. We're extremists. This, that, and the third. But everything that we've literally been bringing out through the scriptures have been happening. Every year, within the last 20 years, there's been a lot of things that's happened. Now you have a lot of things that's happening. And it's funny because we're saying these things before it happened, which pro means before, right? Pro means before. You have to, we speak things before it happens. And the Lord make it happen. When you speak in the Lord's words and it's happening. So you have to think, if that's the case, what people ain't thinking, it's going to be too late though. A lot of these people just, damn, they right. And then go back into that dark corner in their life or dark time darkness in their life. Oh, it just happened, or whatever. But when shit really hits the fan, when shit ain't easily accessible, y'all gonna know, oh shit, they wasn't lying. They ain't so crazy no more. But anyway, this is Sirach chapter 39 and verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies. And this is what a prophet does, be occupied in prophecies daily, weekly, monthly. That's what prophets do. They be occupied in, okay, what's this prophecy? What's this prophecy saying? What is this prophecy? And not just that, how it's going to happen. Now, we don't know exactly step by step how it's going to happen, but we know that it will happen. We know that it will happen. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. And prophets will be what? Speaking things before it happens through the word and through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Jeremiah, what's that? Is that Jeremiah 1? Am I thinking of? Ultimately, Jeremiah was a prophet at a very young age. And he was going against the elders of Israel, which were wicked niggas. And not just that, he prophesied the Babylonian captivity. And guess what? Even by Israelites, even his own people, they thought, what? He didn't know what he was talking about, or he tripping. You had a lot of false you had false prophets in the time of Jeremiah saying, oh, this ain't gonna happen. And unbelievers. But a lot of these unbelievers are starting to believe. And by believe, I don't mean come into the truth, but they believe that the prophecies that we've been saying been coming to pass. He will, verse 3, he will seek out the secrets of grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables. And that's pretty much it on that. But ultimately, a lot of these false prophets will be marked, all these false prophets will be known and marked. So I'm gonna jump to that Jeremiah. There's 2 in Jeremiah that I'm thinking of. What is that for? Is it Jeremiah 1 or Jeremiah? No. Wait. Oh, Jeremiah, yeah. Okay, just Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5. And the Lord was dealing with Jeremiah, and he told Jeremiah, and that was a boost of confidence too. You gotta think, the Lord is telling him, like, Jeremiah, like, hey, like, before, I'll read it. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So you had to think, The Lord ordained not just Jeremiah, but every prophet before they even been formed in the womb and conceived. That's deep. Now, it ain't something, it is deep, but that ain't something you bug yourself out over. But it can bug you out, though. Because you got to think, before you was even conceived and thought of, you was already ordained to be a prophet in the spiritual realm. In verse 6, then said I, Lord Yahweh power, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. Because Jeremiah was like, hey, like, I'm young compared to these men out here. But guess what the Lord said? But the Lord Yahweh said unto me, say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak. And yeah, the Lord said, whatever I tell, whatever I have, you will speak it, regardless of how these individuals may treat you or act. That's exactly what the prophets are doing now. The prophets came back speaking what the Lord told them was written in this book. And what the Lord has told prophets before to say. So now in this book we will understand in this day and age. So now I'm going to jump to Jeremiah chapter 28. So this is Jeremiah chapter 28, and I start at verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And yeah, a lot of most times prophets hit the scene, there wasn't no prosperity. It wasn't no, oh, it's a good time. No, when prophets, it's famous. Jake know whenever a prophet come on the scene, oh shit, what he finna rain on our parade. Oh fuck, what's about to happen now? That's the type of mindset Jake have. But not just that, a lot of heathens know, like, hey, if somebody's talking about something that is a lot of heathen, Esau Edom ultimately understands what, since these prophecies have been going on, and it's crazy because it ain't crazy, but Edomites even understand prophecies, but Israel can't, and it's crazy. Edomites will understand, oh shit, that's the MOTB, oh it's the C-hip, they gonna implant it in our, even, bro, if the elites can understand this, and the elites understand it, and Jake can't still. But Jake want to talk about everything else under the sun but prophecy. Prophecy is what guides. Now, ultimately, the Heavenly Father guides everything, but prophecy is what letting us know when the kingdom, how close the kingdom is, and it's really close. Romans 13:11. The time is short. Verse 9, the prophet was prophesied of peace. When the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord Yahweh hath truly sent him. Right? Then Hananiah the prophet took the yoke from off the prophet Jeremiah's neck, and yeah, he was putting yokes in public. You had to think, just like in slavery when they had those yokes where they quite literally put Jake in there. And sometimes you had your legs and your arms and hands and neck shackled together. Because what Jeremiah was prophesying of things. He was thrown in the dungeon for simply prophesying and telling them, hey, y'all off. Simply put, y'all are off. Jeremiah was thrown in a dungeon for preaching the word of the Heavenly Father. Paul and Silas had to deal with the same thing. Apostles in 2,000 years ago was put to death because what? There's preaching the word in truth and sincerity. So verse 11, and Hananiah spake in the presence of all the people, saying, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, even so will I break the yoke of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, the neck of all nations within the span of 2 full years. And the prophet Jeremiah went his way. And yeah, you had Hananiah, which was a false prophet, saying, hey, we gonna be free from the Babylonians in 2 years, and that was not the fucking case. We went into We went to the Babylonian captivity and was exiles. 586 BCE. Yeah, BCE. Our our nation was we ultimately got besieged and ransacked, and our temple burned. And we was exiled for what, about 40 years? Yeah, 40. We was under the Babylonians for about 40 years or something like that, something to that nature. Shit, you gotta think. Not even just that. Even before then, we was under the captivity of the Egyptians, and that was a 430 year time period. Now, ultimately, right? That was a long time period. But we had to be patient. And a lot of you can't, when it comes to prophecy, and just in general, you cannot be lying or saying false things about prophecy, because if that don't come to pass, you will be held accountable for it. Every idle word, we will be held accountable for it. But yeah, ultimately, at the end of the day, who's telling the truth? So, I'm going to grab this Ezekiel 2 real quick. Then I'm going to close out. This is Ezekiel chapter 2 and verse 5. And they said, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there have been a prophet among them. And yeah, depending on who you've been around, if somebody's been telling you the truth, everything that was told, it will happen. And then y'all gonna be like, and then they gonna have that thought like, damn, like, he told me that, my cousin told me this before it was gonna happen. He told you what was gonna happen. You didn't believe, and it happened, and now you trying to look for, oh damn, what's gonna happen next? And that's what's gonna happen. That's where Amos 8 come into effect. Because why? Amos 8, Amos 8, Amos 5, Amos 9, Amos 3. It's all going to come into effect because why? The prophets have been out here long enough for you people to know what the fuck is about to happen. And if y'all ain't going to listen to it, if y'all ain't going to believe in it, okay, the Lord going to bring it anyway. And if you ain't ready, you just ain't ready. And y'all going to be taken up by all of the plagues, pestilence, and a great death that's about to come. And y'all ain't ready for it. So, to the sword, to the sword, to the sword, to death, to death. Yep, see. Captivity to the captivity. You people are going to, y'all going to have to learn the hard way. And that's just how it's going to be. But Lord, when this video is edifying, before I close out, like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Baruch HaKodesh. Lord, when this video is edifying, and on to the next one. Shalom.